Okay,
If we don't have a quorum, we need to shut them down, then you need to come back next month.
okay, thank
You
you.
need to come back next month. You try to have some voting on, and you ain't got no people to vote.
Diana.
Hmm. Not in. She ain't from here,
Nah,
though. Okay.
you have quorum?
Okay, we're gonna get the meeting started. Today is May 29th. It's 6:03 PM. Let us go into roll call.
Call the meeting to order.
I call this meeting to order. I'm Clarissa Alayeto, Chairperson of Community Board
Oh,
1.
excuse me.
Carlos Arayeto,
Present.
Evelyn Alvarez, Dante Ambrose, Daniel Barber, Robert Barnes,
Present.
Cecil Brooks Jr., Stephanie Calzado, Karen Chamorro, Maura Cosme, Christina Culver, Audrey De Jesus,
Present.
Jacqueline De Jesus. I apologize. Naisha Darabi. I think I saw her. I think she just looked up. Josephine Fernandez Byrne. Brenda Goodwin.
Here.
Christine Nakata. Paola Martinez. Delerny Morin. Argelia Ortiz. Emmanuel Padilla. Marilyn Peña.
Present.
Freddie Perez Jr.
Present.
Rosa Pinero. Joyce Pulpus. Jose Rodriguez. Mohammed Sheikh.
Present.
Patricia Simpson. Whitney Williams. Cesar Young.
Present.
Chair, we have quorum.
Thank you, Stephen. Okay, we're gonna move into, approval of the agenda. Before I go into the agenda, I will announce that I will be leaving this meeting a little early, and our, Vice Chair, Freddie Perez Jr., will be taking over to continue the meeting. Can we get this agenda approved? Can we get a motion to approve the agenda?
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion that we amend tonight's meeting immediately after the public session to hear nominations from the floor from our members for our next board officers, board chair, first vice chair, and second vice chair, for an election by official ballot of all candidates next month at our June 2025 general board meeting.
I second.
Well, we can't,
Discussion on the motion.
Discussion.
any
on the-
discussion on the motion? Danny?
Is it election time?
It's not,
It is.
because election time, remember,
Look at
it's
the
2
bylaws.
years, in the bylaws, it is 2 years, so the election is in November.
Mr. District Manager, can you pop up the bylaws that were amended by the board?
I don't have a copy with me, but,
They due in June, ain't they?
That's correct.
It's due in June.
Well, technically, because it's a 2-year term, it's not until November.
No.
My motion was to accept nominations immediately after the public session.
And I second it.
and I have the floor with the question.
Well, answer your
Is it
question.
election time?
Yes. From what I know, the
And
bylaws,
what-
yes.
What makes it election time?
It's
I
June,
need
the
to see
bylaws.
it. As a member of the board, I need to see it in black and white.
You have the bylaws?
We're at the point where it's election.
Well, we need to look at the bylaws. You have a copy of the
Got a
bylaws? You got a copy of bylaws with him?
And I believe everyone was given a copy of these bylaws. If you didn't receive one, it should have been given to every member of this board when the committee decided to amend the rules.
Exactly.
Can I ask the district manager to find the part where it says when we're supposed to have elections?
Make sure you have it. Thank you.
And if there's no change in the bylaws with respect to elections, the prior bylaws supersede that one.
Exactly.
Not on there?
2 years commission, first full board meeting,
It's a 2-year term.
Correct, starting when?
the month of June.
There you go.
Right, but it's
It's
a
in there.
2-year term,
We only did one.
and we haven't finished,
You cannot
so can we?
wait 4 years for an election.
We just had
No,
elections
you-
last
It's
year.
been 2 years
It
prior.
hasn't been 2 years.
No.
2 years is in November, Freddie.
No, you wasn't voted in last year. You voted.
We
in
were
year before
voted
last.
in November.
Last year.
Year
No.
before last.
The year.
No.
It hasn't been 2 years.
This is going to be 2 years now.
Right.
I'm not gonna go through this.
You've been there 2
I
years.
made a
You've been
motion
there
on
2
the
years.
floor,
What happens? No, we-
and there's a discussion on the motion.
And if I remember, Mr. Daniel Barber has the floor. And nobody has answered the question that Mr. Barber put on the floor.
Well, he's
So
gonna read it to
until
you.
that
He's gonna read it
answers,
to you now.
Mr. Barber still has the floor, as per Robert Rules of Order. So we gonna be parliamentarians, I'm gonna kick my parliamentary duties in that I got under my back.
Thank you.
No, I'm gonna read the motion. I'm gonna read the bylaws. I forgot to use the,
Yeah.
the podium.
We voted late.
I'm just gonna read it, and then if you wanna see it, you're talking to Mr. Barber, then I'll do that. Is that satisfactory?
Yes.
The officers of the board shall be a chairperson, first vice chairperson, second vice chairperson. Each officer shall be appointed member of the board. Election of officers shall take place in the meeting of the board held in the month of June.
There you
That
go.
is,
It's a 2-year term. If the election was in June, then it's a 2-year term to happen in June. But because the election did not happen in June, it will proceed in November.
Correct.
I'm reading the bylaws. That's
Thank
all.
you.
So,
Thank you.
Mr.
And
Barber,
our
Mr. Barber still has the
policy,
floor.
yes.
Because the bylaws is what's supposed to govern the organization.
That's correct.
Yes.
But because the election happened late, I make a suggestion. I make a suggestion that this be tabled until it can be referenced with the borough president's office to get a clarification, and we move on with business as usual. Because the back and forth is hindering the process with community plans.
I have a question.
We do not get stuff completed. I yield.
Thank you.
Mr. Barber, I have a question. May I address you with my question?
Yes.
On your recommendation, are you saying that we take this to the borough president's office and let them be the deciding factor in this issue?
Because it's.
I'm just saying yes or no.
Yes.
Well, then that's what we do. Then let's vote on that. Let the borough president's office
Motion is still-
decide.
this motion is still on the floor.
Okay.
He would have to.
I second it.
He
I
would
second
have
your
to
motion.
Amend his motion to what he has and make the new motion that's on the floor.
Yes, Mr. Chief.
Good evening, everyone.
Use your mic, please.
My name is Mohammed Sheikh, and it is I'm humble and to discuss and pleasure the issue. It is on the floor now. And what is the basic is everything runs by the constitution, by the bylaws. So this is something we cannot like supersede, but there is a way we can supersede it, like getting the decision from the board office or something. So my understanding, as this board is working very fair and free way with the decision of our board members, means all the board members selected their nominees as the first vice chair, as the chair, second vice chair. So that is the beauty of our community board one. I'm not mentioning other boards, how they're handling their business. I'm totally convinced that Mr. Denny Barbara made a good point. Since you are working well, and it's the issue with the bylaws, we can discuss with our board office, and this is a better way to move forward, doing the business as well as the way that we are moving forward. Thank you for the opportunity to discuss.
Can I say something? There was a little bit of confusion as to what's going on because when we voted for the committee members, it started late. So by the bylaws, it is every 2 years. So to be fair, it would be in November to do the elections. We're not saying we're not doing the elections, it's just the matter of the 2-year time frame. So like they said, we have the bylaws and it stipulates 2 years. It's supposed to be in June, but because we started late, it'll be fair that we do it in November. Thank you.
Mr. District Manager, I have a question to you. Is it true or is it not true? We voted for executive committee, am I right? The executive committee vote and the chair committees is two separate things. Is that two separate entities?
No, it is my understanding.
Okay, explain it to me.
It is my understanding that that the board votes only for its officers and the chair appoints chairs of the committee.
Okay, so
Does that answer your question?
yes, so the chairs of the committee are appointed by the chair,
That is my understanding.
but the executive committee is appointed by the members.
That is my understanding.
That's all I want to know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so we have to be careful here. We setting precedents because according to the bylaws, it says June. So we gotta go by the bylaws, even though people can be late, you still have to do June because that's what the bylaw says. If not, you have to change the bylaws and say it's November. So this is the way I think of it because we have to go by what the paper says and that's what we decide on. So I think for me right now, the borough president has to decide, or there are some things they will have to decide. He then decide that we did it late, so we have to change the bylaws and we do it every November. Or decide that we have to follow the bylaws and we have to do it in June. Because then, if we do it in November, we're gonna still keep having the same problem.
Right.
Because we're not gonna have it in June. You see that? So we don't wanna set precedents, so I understand that, but we have to find somebody that's a mediator between us, because we don't want to go back and forth and have an argument. But I go by what the bylaw says. If the borough president says in June, and then you have to do it in June, regardless if it's November.
I'm going to agree with Mr. Barber. I will amend my motion to await the decision by the Borough President's office with clarity, with a copy of the bylaws given to the Borough President's office, so they can see in black and white that it says June. Regardless, the bylaws were amended by a group of people in this board. Some of us were not
By the
present.
bylaws committee, it was created
And then subsequently,
because
the
in the
rule-
past.
I have the floor, Madam Chair.
We've
Give me some
had
respect. I give it to you.
elections at any
I give it to
time.
you. The bylaws were amended and they were done in a way that puts us in the situation that we are right now. And the scheme behind this is to wait until the new board members are put into place, so so that they have a right to vote for officers of Community Board One, which is not the right thing to do, because there are members sitting here right now who have been here for years, have followed the rules, and now they want to change the rules so they can benefit one group. I will amend my motion to await on the decision by the Borough President's office.
I already seconded it. Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the motion with the amendment passes. Okay.
Hold on, Melissa.
Yes, Danny.
Any noes? Any abstentions?
Right.
The
Thank you,
ayes
Danny.
have it.
The ayes have it. Thank you, Danny. All right, let's move into the approval of the agenda. Can we get a motion to approve the agenda?
I wanted to ask who's put the agenda.
That's all right, go ahead.
Yeah, you interrupted that. Josephine Burns seconded. Thank you. All right. Can we get, an approval of the April 2025 full board meetings and the May 2025 committee meetings? Can we get a motion to approve those meetings, those minutes?
I must say, make a proposal to approve those May and April meetings.
I'm Madam President, second.
Any abstentions? Any discussion on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Public session. Do we have anyone who signed up for public session? Go for it.
Walk to the podium, you can't use it from there, you have to do it from the podium. You have to do it from the podium.
Oh, you want to go straight to?
Yes,
You
please.
want me to come straight to the podium?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Let me come on up here then. But they were gonna hear me anyway.
Okay, does everybody have one of these flyers? Does everybody have one of these?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody raise your flyer. And there's the.
Ready.
On
ready?
Saturday, on
ready?
Melrose.
I'm not leaving, I'm going to.
We've been having a toxic situation for a very long time. And the Department of Environmental Conservation has ignored our district and has ignored our community and our neighborhood. Okay? And that's why we have to continue to put pressure on something. And that's why we have to put the pressure on something that has been going on for a very long time. It's been over 20 years that we have pressure, we have sent petitions and done the whole 9 yards, and we continue to get ignored. So everybody, come on Saturday, okay? There are toxic fumes all around our district, all around our neighborhood, and probably many people that are already in their graves. Okay? And we have had no kind of input and continue to get ignored. So come and bring yourselves out, okay? And bring everybody else out. This is affecting everyone. Okay? Thank you for your attention today. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alicia Anthony?
So I might need some help with this a little bit. So I've never presented at a community board meeting. If I do something incorrect, y'all let me know. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
All right, I'm Alicia Anthony, Director of Community Engagement at the Bronx Defenders. Are people familiar with the Bronx Defenders?
Yes.
All right. And so I'm here to talk about something very specific. Most people know the Bronx Defenders for our legal services. What they don't know is we have a full-fledged community engagement, organizing, and policy team. And so we're in the community, doing work in the community, making sure people are engaged, where people are fighting on the issues. And so we are also an anchor organization for something called the People's Money. People heard of the People's Money?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful, that's great. So we are an anchor organization for Mott Haven Melrose. And that means we are charged with helping community people to, one, identify services and programs you want to see in your community. 2, voting on what are the priorities. And 3, getting those things implemented. And so we work with the Civic Engagement Commission to do this. We are on our 3rd year. So in 3 years, we won 2 projects for this neighborhood. Both of them youth projects. One was a culture cultural arts program, and then the last one was a trade program for technology and farming. And so we're in our third year, and we want to deliver a third program to this area. Hopefully we'll keep doing this year after year, because we need services, right? We need programs, and we need to be able to be the ones deciding how money is spent in our community. So we are spending the mayor's money for this. So if you participated with city council, that is a different process. City council vote on big capital projects, right? That's very different. This is community projects. And so we're tasked with getting 2,000 votes in this neighborhood. We believe we can do more. Last year we did more, we did like 2,500. And the process is very simple. So we're asking twofold. We're asking you to vote tonight if I'm able to do that, if you haven't done it. And then two, if there are places that our team should go to get more votes, we want you to let us know that. And so very simple, this is an official ballot. They put it through the scanners and everything. All you have to do is check off the programs you like, and then, because we're all in this neighborhood, we're gonna use the zip code from this neighborhood. And then that's the process. At the end of June, they will tally up all the votes. So this is being done not only in the Bronx, but across New York City. But each borough has its own programs. And then the winning project or RFP will go out. People can apply for the projects. If you guys are in organizations and you see a project, once it is decided that the project won the votes, you can apply. You'll see on here, they're giving them $200,000 to implement these programs. And then we get programs in our neighborhood. It's just that simple. Any questions?
Yep. Mr. Daniel Barber.
Yes.
Know Bronx Defenders very well, AKA BD. Down the street from me, the Jackson Houses. One of the members who helped build Bronx Defenders up to what it is today. My question is you're asking us for our vote. I have a personal relationship and a business as well. The business relationship has went down the drain. Bronx Defenders have not helped us out in public housing on Cortland Avenue, right, your neighbor right up the street, in a long time. We used to be a partner with your little community fair for the summertime. We got excluded. You want my residents' votes, but who's gonna assure that my community will be able to tap into these resources? Because there's so many times everybody comes and pimps the people. Everybody wants to be our pimp, but nobody wants to share the money with us for pimping us. So my question to you, to take back to your VP organization, Danny Barber, and tell Carmen she know how to get me. How do we assure our community for us to give you a vote that we're gonna be included in the expenditure of these monies with the designing of the programs that come into our communities to receive these fundings, or just to be a thought and to be able to take a part? How? Because nobody can never give us that answer.
I so appreciate the question. Just so you all know a little bit about me, I've been a community organizer for now about 25 years. I'm slightly new to Bronx Defenders, but I've been organizing a long time. I've been in Bronx Defenders for 3 years, and this is how I will answer that. One, the community engagement team is new at Bronx Defenders. We recently partnered with Bronx Community Justice Center to do workshops on Know Your Rights, specifically for NYCHA tenants. And you're right, working in NYCHA has not been a priority for Bronx Defenders. What I will tell you is our team has 2 former tenant organizers. I am one, Carmen is one. And if there's something you want us to engage with you on Cortland Avenue, you just need to tell Carmen or myself. Carmen and I are on the same team now, and we will see what we can do to work that out. That's number one. Number two, in terms of how you can take part in this. So this happens in phases, participatory budgeting. So in the fall, because I said we're an anchor organization for this, my team is the team that goes out and selects ideas from people. And so if selecting or creating the ideas of the program design is where you want to be a part of, you just have to let me know. And in the fall, when we do the idea generation piece, we'll come out and we'll collect the ideas from you all. Just remember, we're collecting ideas from all over the Bronx. So there are different organizations from all over the Bronx collecting ideas. That's number one. Number two, then you have an opportunity to vote on the project. Number three, then you have an opportunity when the RFP is released to then apply for the funding so that you can be the person who implements. For example, there is something on here that says, I'll just pick youth-led performing arts program. I don't know how many of you all do that. There's a Connecting Veterans one. There's support people with housing advocacy groups. There's a healthy food and literary nights. There's STEAM enrichment for Bronx youth, golden years, financial guidance for older adults, mentorship for justice-involved people, support for parents and guardians of amazing special kids, that's kids with special needs. So it's a bunch of programs on here. And if you do one of those things, when the RFP comes out, then you can apply for that money so that you are the one who implements it in the community.
Exactly.
So that is another way how dollars stay in our community. The last thing I would say is this is by zip code, right? And so people applying for these projects have to implement the projects in our zip code. They can't get this money and then say, I'm going to Manhattan and I'm gonna build it in Manhattan, because that won't work. Right? They have to say, I'm implementing.
We are at time, sorry, so just, you can wrap it up in just a couple seconds.
Okay, yeah, they have to implement the project in 104, 51, 54, 55, and 56. That is the other way that it keeps the money in our neighborhoods. So thank you, I hope I answered the question.
You didn't, but we could finish this offline.
I think
I tried.
it was very, I think it's very good. I think, Madam Chairman, I can make a comment.
We have a comment on the floor, Ms. Goodwin.
I think that you explained it well, because people get an idea that when money comes in, they don't realize that the people who are distributing this money have a say of where the money goes. We may want, a lot of times we want it for our community, but we have to be out there fighting for our communities. We have to be at the table when it comes to the table. Like she said, now they got zip codes where that money is to be spent. So now we know that next time they have some money and they come up with something, us on these boards need to be at the table.
Thank you. We have one more presentation, Philip. I do want to remind you of the 3-minute time from the New York Power Authority. Thank you, Philip.
I'll be quick and hopefully Danny won't call me. Good to see everybody. Philip Ellison, Legislative and Stakeholder Affairs at the New York Power Authority. For those who don't know, the New York Power Authority is the largest public utility, obviously servicing New York State. Majority of our energy that we provide is clean. We do have a presence in the neighborhood with peaker plants, but we also do so much more for the state, for the city, and particularly something I've worked on, bringing back to the neighborhood. 2 weeks ago on Friday, May 16th, at Sankofa House, which is an amazing community and event space, 2442 nearby in the neighborhood in Mott Haven. At Sankofa House, the New York Power Authority had an electric mobility workforce development convening. So what we did was we partnered with the Bronx Tech Hub, which is an amazing nonprofit focused on building workforce and entrepreneurial access for the Bronx, and the Green Launchpad. We brought together schools and nonprofits, government, community leaders, and companies together to talk about electric mobility. You might see places that are building electric charging for cars. You might see Lime, scooters, vehicles, electric buses from MTA. And really the whole goal of the day was to educate, connect, and to focus on the Bronx, both this neighborhood and the Bronx at large, and think about how can we build workforce pipelines, right? Opportunities for our K-12, our college, and folks to have jobs in companies that are in this space, right? To not let the Bronx be left behind, but to be proactive about understanding this change. And so, in the local neighborhood, people like the Knowledge House were there, Proscolis was there, which are local neighborhood nonprofits in this district, as well as the Laboratory and Finance School. So again, with just NIPA, the Power Authority, really trying to be proactive around, not allowing people to just build without thinking about what are the job opportunities as the electric mobility space isn't going nowhere. And companies like Lime we're providing those scooters and bikes. It is really educational, and hopefully we'll do more of that. And seeing some of the middle schools in the neighborhood wanting to expose the K through 12 in this district to what the job opportunities will be in that space. So just wanted to share that as what we're doing. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So at this time, I'm gonna pass over the meeting to our Vice Chair, Freddie Perez, because I have to exit. Thank you.
All right, we're gonna move the agenda forward. Voting items, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, actually 8 with 1 withdrawn. May I have Chairman of liquor licenses, please report on the voting items listed in the agenda. No, he's the chair. He's gonna Does it say something, chair? Okay, hold on. All right, let's go back. Because it wasn't detailed. So the Hudson Smokehouse is not a liquor license.
It's up-
Right, got it, okay.
He's gonna read from there.
Okay.
So one is Marshall, so you wanna do municipal services first?
Well, it doesn't say municipal services on there. I asked the chair. She said this was all, liquor license.
No,
Okay. So the first one is municipal services,
yes.
and the chair is Orly de Jesus.
No, that's
Ambrose, he's not here.
Dedicate somebody else, go ahead.
You do the report.
You have to reuse somebody.
It's a voting item.
We're voting on the, as of building out the dining and meeting establishment. This is a motion to accept the committee's recommendation to approve the new dining out cafe license, the Hudson Smokehouse at 37 Brooklyn Boulevard, Bronx, New York. You see the shed that's there, that's what they're asking for us to vote on.
And what was your committee's finding?
We found that it's
What was the recommendation by the committee?
to approve it,
Okay.
and then met all standards. Just for clarification. Does anybody else need clarification on this?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Question is.
Was there any inquiry as to any incidents or anything pertaining to this area?
Yes,
What were the incidents?
none reported.
None reported. That's what I want to know. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, may I explain this to Diana, please?
You have the floor.
So, thank you, Mr. Chair. So, the committee, this is from the New York City Department of Transportation. We are required under the New York City Department of Transportation rules that during COVID, we all understood that there were a lot of restaurant businesses who moved some of their serving operations onto the street. The new administration made a recommendation to continue this into actual program. And the community boards, just like we do with liquor licenses, just like we do with any of our cannabis licenses, will have to make recommendations with some opining from our NYPD partners, whether or not there were any incidents. What does incidents mean? Illegal sale of alcohol in outside area, When you are having a New York State Liquor Authority license, it is only to sell your alcohol inside your establishment. If you want to move that into the outside, that's a new license requirement. This business is just asking for approval under the New York City Department of Transportation rules, like the acting chair mentioned, to continue to operate that establishment. The rules dictate under this establishment that each business that's applying for this, for the community board, they can only operate the outside dining in the comforts of their business, meaning that they cannot go past the sign awning that is on top of their business, and they must also be good standing with rodent and insect remediation, and any selling of smoke products like hookah, etc., or cigarette smoking, anything that could be is inconvenience to the customers that come into this business. And like the acting chair spoke about, this business came, we had a very extensive conversation, and this is the committee recommendation as pointed out here on the form. Thank you, Chair.
At this time, based on the recommendation made by the committee, I'd like to get a motion from the floor, board members, to approve the recommendation of the committee to Hudson Smokehouse and Los Nisperos Peruvian Restaurant for the New York City dining out shed.
Brenda Goodman, I make a motion that this consideration be given.
Motion made by Ms. Brenda Goodwin, seconded by
Marilyn Peña, second motion.
Ms. Marilyn Peña, seconds the motion. Are you ready for a question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? Do we have one? Let me go back. Any discussion on the motion? Having none, the ayes have it. Let us now move into the, I believe now, this is the. Still municipal? No. They did both, yeah. So we have, renewal application for Milberger Safari One Liquor and Wine Corporation, new application. Estrella del Caribe Corporation, renewal application. American Bites Coffee Shop Corporation, new application. And Viva Cafe Mexican Restaurant Corporation, new application. Let me for the record, J&J Merch Corporation withdrew their application. Mr. Barnes, Chair of the Liquor Committee, please state your report and recommendations by your committee.
Chair, Robert Barnes, with the chair of the Committee of License and Permits. Due to my committee not having a quorum, we asked the full board to vote a motion to approve the Milberger, which is a renewal application. We asked also a motion to accept the committee's recommendation to approve a new application of American Bites Coffee Shop located at 245 Brook Avenue, Bronx, New York. We also asked a motion to accept the committee recommendation to approve a new application, Viva Cafe Mexican Restaurant Corp, located at 500 East 49th Street, Bronx, New York. We have a motion to accept the committee's recommendation to deny a new application for Safari One Liquor Wine Corp, located at 475 Brook Avenue. Applicant no show to the meeting or respond to the committee board email. We also ask a motion to accept the committee recommendation to deny the new application of Estrella del Caribe Corp, located at 745 East 136th Street, Bronx, New York. A renewal application. Applicants no show to the meeting or respond to committee board emails. A point of information, a cannabis new application, J&J Merck Corporation, 516 Tipson Place, Bronx, New York. Canada voluntarily withdrew the application.
What was the first denial? What agency?
Does that complete your report?
That's a completed report.
Mr. District Manager, can we have a discussion because he mentioned in the beginning that they didn't have quorum. He's asking the full board to make a recommendation on these licenses, and I have to do it the right way.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So it is the customary of the committee is when there is not quorum in the new licenses and permits committee, that the committee pushes the recommendation for the full board to opine upon it because we did not have quorum and or the business did not show up. We did have the businesses show up and also submit documentation as required under the rules, the information regarding the businesses that the committee chairman makes a recommendation for the full board to consider. So this is under the rules that if someone does not show up or the committee does not have quorum, one, the committee makes a recommendation to deny businesses that have not shown up, and if the committee does not have quorum, they push the consideration for the full board to make a decision on the businesses that, and documentation submitted, all information, application, inspection, et cetera, to the staff for the full board to consider.
So let me understand, besides that, was there any recommendations made by NYPD regarding the either renewal or new application by the businesses that are stipulated on the agenda?
Thank you for your question, Mr. Chairman. Yes, so before the committee meets, we reach out to our partners at NYPD and ask if there are any 311, quality of life, or 911 issues relating to this business and whether or not they have any objections to any actions that the full board or the committee will take. For the businesses that are approved, there were no 911 or 311 quality of life issues. We did not entertain the businesses that did not show up or did not respond to our correspondence. Any of the businesses that did not show up, whether it's 911, 311 complaints, this is why the committee made a determination to deny the recommendation for them to come forward for consideration. And as I may continue to clarify, the committee board office received an official request to withdraw the application for the candidate's license that takes in place in the borough of the Bronx for reasons that they explained that they could not work out any issues with the landlord. So they voluntarily withdrew their application for consideration.
Thank you. So I want to make this clear. Before I pose this question to the board members, I want clarity. So in the case of Milberger, in the case of
American Bites.
no, that was denied. Estrella, no, sorry.
No, American Bites
Hold
and
on.
Viva.
Milberger, which is a renewal application.
American Bites.
You have it behind it? Milberger, okay. American Bites Coffee Shop Corporation.
And Viva.
And Viva Cafe Mexican Restaurant.
Right.
So we are clear. Before I pose this question to the members for approval, you had no 311 calls, no 911 calls or incidents reported by NYPD at these three locations.
Correct.
Thank you. So moving forward, on the recommendation of the Permits and License Committee, may I have a motion from the floor to accept, a motion from the floor to approve the liquor licenses, renewal or new application for the three described establishments that we just went over.
I make a recommendation that the three be approved as given.
Motion made by Ms. Brenda Goodwin, seconded by,
My name would make a second motion to have as the committee recommendation.
seconded by Mr. Sheik. Are you ready for the question? All those in favor of approving, I'm sorry, discussion on the motion. It would just happen. Discussion on the motion. Having no discussion, all those in favor of approving the three licenses signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? Who is me? Danny Barber, abstains from the vote. Noted.
Noted, Chair.
Thank you. The ayes have it, motion passed, okay? Let's go now to Right. So we still have, I think, two. We have two, establishments that were denied because of no-show, so I'm gonna read this for the record. Voting item, Committee on License and Permits. Motion to accept the committee's recommendation to deny the new application for Safari One Liquor and Wine located at 475 Brook Avenue. Applicant did not show up to the meeting or respond to the committee board's email. Also, there's a motion to accept the committee's recommendation to deny the new application by Estrella del Caribe Corporation, 745 East 136th Street, Bronx, New York. It's a renewal application. The applicant did not show up to the meeting or respond to the committee board's emails. Point of information, cannabis, new application, J&J Merchant Corporation, 516 Simpson Place, Bronx, New York. Candidate voluntarily withdrew his application. Any discussion on these three items? Mr. Barber.
I dare you go to make a motion that we accept all recommendations from the committee and all recommendations of the deniers, and accept J&J Merchant Corporation's voluntary withdrawal. So that's my motion.
We have a motion from Mr. Barber.
Second.
Second by Ms. Brenda Goodwin. Discussion on the motion. Being none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. Let's move the agenda, folks. District Manager's report. District Manager, you have the floor.
What about that last one?
Oh, we have one more. That's
Letter,
on your.
letter of support.
That's right. See, they didn't write this down in the, you guys gotta write it down by committee on the agenda. Mr. York, is the chair of the committee. He has, to do a report on letter of support from Community Board 1, Committee on Environmental Justice and Sanitation, Public Power, New York. Mr. Cesar York, you have the floor. All the way at the end. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. They didn't
yeah,
write
you
it
hear me? So, this was voted the last time, but we didn't have quorum, so we have to vote it in again because we have quorum this time. So I have to, state some of the things that were stated about a month ago. So this has to do with, letter of support for public power. One is to, basically decommission, the Pico plants, that's one thing. And also to support a resolution 710. A resolution 710 allows NYPA, New York Power Authority, which is a public entity, it's not a private, entity, in order for them to, get at least 3 gigawatts of renewable energy. And for the one actually to go as far as to 15 gigawatts of renewable energy. So we had a lot of discussions regarding renewable energy and also the gigawatts, and then after all the discussions, then we passed it, or we had some recommendations. So some stipulations, some things that should be added to what they do to the letter of support. Yesterday, they sent an email regarding some of the questions we had last time. And the last meeting that we had, we voted on, but we didn't pass, so we didn't have quorum.
Freddie.
So they answered some of the questions that we had,
After this
but we
item,
still,
after this item, I'm out.
have some issues regarding, energy storage, regarding, where you're gonna have the converter stations. There haven't been a lot of studies done in, high density areas for converter stations. So we have to be careful with that. Some of the studies have been done in Europe, because in Europe we have more renewable energy. So we just wanted to know if the converter stations is gonna be now. And the other one has to do, we were saying that power has to go to, they would need like hours. We don't wanna have, 50 gigawatts of all this electricity, and then it goes to well-off people, and then we get that. So that was some of the recommendations, some of the stipulations put out there. And yeah, so NYPA, New York Power Authority, to send a letter of support to NYPA stating these things, that we want more renewable energy. and also for them to be aware of the infrastructure issues. You don't want to face in the future, you don't want to have another picker plant, you know, like we could have a converter station and it ends up being a picker plant, we don't want that, so.
So, Mr. Young, the recommendation by your committee is to,
The recommendation by the committee is to approve the letter of support with those recommendations, with the battery storage and others that we stated.
thank you, upon the recommendation of that committee to give a letter of support, may I have a motion from the floor to accept the committee's recommendation?
I want to thank you.
Motion made by Mr. De Jesus and seconded by Carolyn Chamorro. Discussion on the motion. Does anyone have any questions regarding the motion and the approval of the letter?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Was that from the presentation that they had earlier? The gentleman that was here a little while ago?
Yeah, the last meeting, remember that there was a candidate, I think.
No, I'm talking about.
That's public power.
Okay, that's
No.
what I want to know.
Thank you. Anyone else? Having none, since we have a motion on the floor, all those in favor of sending a letter of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? The letter of support passes. Next on the agenda, hopefully, Mr. District Manager, for the next meeting, can we detail out when voting items, what committee belongs to what person and what items, that we don't go through this again? Thank you. District Manager's report.
That's still me. Socrates understand, right? So thank you, Chairman. Can anyone hear me well? I just want to say one good news that I have, and I'll be very brief in the interval of time. Browns Community Board, 3024 East, 3rd Avenue, our office is now open. We're back home.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Yes, praise the Lord. But there are some changes that have been made to the space. We're still waiting for our phone systems to be installed, because if anyone who does not know, the Bronx Community Board office back in December experienced a serious flood issue that required for a total almost gut rehab of the property. Thanks to our partners and friends at Lincoln Hospital, their new Associate Executive Director, Socrates, is here for us, who has been hosting all our committee meetings and all of our general full board meetings. So thank you to your president, CEO, and to your leadership and the chief of staff leadership for definitely making sure that this is a community hospital that maintains a community vision and a community thought process and the way that it looks and serves our community. And we look forward to many, many, many more future projects to come. So they'll be sending to knocking your door often to be able to ask for support. So thank you, CEO on behalf. Diana Leonard and Stephen Palmer have been an essential part to this work, ensuring that we, every day of the week, including most Saturdays, are seeing our constituents. We are back in full service since we've been in our temporary office in 3030. We thank our partners from the New York City Department of Finance. We have been still aggressively seeing our constituents, and Diana has been hitting the ground running, learning about outreach and learning about the work about helping to serve our constituents. And Stephen has been very important about helping to coordinate our office operations and working to train our team and also to help serve constituents as we continue to do our fiduciary responsibility of serving the constituents of Montague, Port Morris, and Maryland. And my final response is that we have also been, has our information about how many constituents we're seeing and where we've been, how we're working with them is now back online. You can come into our office and be able to evaluate day-to-day and the now actions about how we are serving our constituents, how we engage with our city agencies, and how we're working with making sure that our municipal services have been, which includes police, fire, and parks, have been aggressively working with us to be able to handle petition complaints. I appreciate everyone's due diligence. Please look out to us, because we're going to be doing what's called a soft opening, where we'll be providing opportunity for people to see how the community board works, how the operation of the team interacts with the community, how we are evaluating our constituent complaints, and how we are servicing them on a day-to-day basis. I want to thank all our community chairs during this time because this community board is super active, which is definitely appreciative. You're going to hear from the committees about how many great events, interaction activities that we have been doing to interact with each and every one of you. We are looking for a lot more young people to be engaged and with our board in a very civic way, because the voice of the young people are important to the longevity of this board. So we appreciate each and every one of your guys' leadership. And on behalf of our team at the office, thank you so much for all that you do to help make our work here in the community worthwhile. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. May I have a motion to accept the district manager's report?
I, Mohammed Sheikh, make a motion to accept district manager's report.
I will do that, 2 seconds.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions? Thank you, Mr. District Manager. Let's move on to public safety. 40th precinct, please take the mic.
Hello, everyone. My name is Scott Petrowski. I just got assigned to the 401.
Welcome.
Thank you. This is actually my first community board meeting, so, if I missed something or, like again, this was kind of short notice for you to prepare for this. I apologize in advance. I'm here to introduce the new team, the sergeant and a few of his members, a new team that we created in the 40th precinct, the quality of life unit that's going to be addressing most quality of life positions across the 40th precinct. But first, let me just give you guys a little more background about myself. I have close to 20 years of service for the police department. About half of that time, I spent working in PSA 7 and the 4.0. I was previously working here before. I know the community, I understand the community, and that's why I'm kind of close to the position to come back here and serve you guys again. So I did that for about 10 years between PSA 7 and the 4.0 in the past. Now I'm back here in a different capacity, trying to understand the community a little better and work with everybody on that level. Looking at crimes, unfortunately, summer is coming, warmer days are coming up. Crime is slowly upticking. We have an increase in cars being stolen and active in robberies. We're trying to address those conditions as much as we can, but unfortunately, with more people out and more people being out in the streets, unfortunately, crimes will happen. We also have an uptick in retail theft and larcenies in general. People go into stores, steal merchandise and thinking that they can get over easy and disappear. We try our best. We have the hub team that deals with the 1.9 murder, that deals with that, and they do the best they can. But community would be beneficial, if they could help out somehow. When it comes to complaints of 301s, that's when the new team comes into play. They're going to be mostly dealing with the complaints from you guys, from the community, addressing noise complaints, double parked cars, and stuff like that. I'm going to introduce the sergeant here, Sergeant Marks, and he can tell you more about the conditions of the crime that he has, or the vision that he has for the 4.0 and how we're going to change this. Good evening, everybody. Sergeant Marks, 40th Precinct. I'm the PM team supervisor. I work in the hours about 6 p.m. until about 2:30 in the morning. With me, I have Officer Sagari and Officer Tari. You guys may be familiar with them from their NCO days. NCO has merged into the Q team and doing quality of life offenses and concerns. One of the primary things that we are doing is answer to the one guy. We put a heavy focus on it because those complaints come from community members of the community, and we try and get to them as timely as we can so we can get them all current. We also handle certain 911 jobs, so you see these quality of life jobs, patrolling routes, mobile vans, insured lights, cars, car hookups, other things like that. any type of concerns that come over that fit certain criteria, we will respond to and will handle as expeditiously as possible. I just came from a meeting earlier today with the captain and the planning officer of the county, with Chief Sharrow and with the head of quality life division. I want to assure all of you that this. I'm sorry. Can you hear me better? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, as long as everyone can hear me now. I just want to assure you, coming from the police commissioner, and coming from Chief Shell, this is not broken windows. We are bringing our enforcement and our attention to the complaints that you bring to us. Those complaints come from 911 calls, from your 311 calls, and from meetings like this, where you'll have an opportunity, if you don't want to raise anything on the floor here, my officers and myself will stand by, and if you want to bring anything privately to us, we will happily take your information and try and address these concerns in the best way we can for a happy outcome for everybody in the community. That's what we're here for. We want to make sure that the little things that catch everyone's attention, the noise complaints, the barbecues on the block, the derelict vehicles, the abandoned vehicles, we are taking care of that. That's what we're here for. And we want to take care of it, not necessarily the way things were done in the past, but we want to make it so that it's a community outcome that is satisfactory to all parties involved. I guess with that, if anyone has any questions.
We'll take questions from the community board members first, and then I'll ask the general public. So any board member have any questions? Virginia.
Give me the mic, I'll bring it to you. Any questions?
Board members? Then the general public may ask any questions they feel. Anyone have any questions? You guys have no questions for the
She
floor.
has a question. She has.
Hi, Jasmine Humphrey here. I have a question, well, I'll ask one question at a time, but, with regard, as you mentioned, vandalism with cars has uptick. I know specifically on Brook Avenue between 156 and 149. There's a host of continuous for years now. The patrol cars that are on Bergen in 156, they're always during the day. And we're very curious in our community why there's no overnight patrol in that area, which is when the vandalism is actually happening.
Some of it is manpower. Some of those vehicles that you'll see there during the day are either day tour, the hub team, the business conditions team, or they're the day tour patrol. We also get some outside help from other commands that deploy to the precinct during certain hours to assist with violence reduction and crime reduction. You'll see that now that the summer is coming, there's going to be a lot more posts overnight being held later, especially during the weekends. And my team work until 2 in the morning, so we are aware of that. But we have a specific team that deals with grand larcenies and vehicle crime like that is aware of that corridor and is taking action on it. We'll be doing more checkpoints and other activities to try and deter and detect that crime.
Okay. This isn't a question, it's just a comment or response to that. Like, we don't really need the patrol during the day in the morning. It's overnight is when we're seeing and having the issues happen. So we look forward to the seeing this patrol happen overnight.
Mr. York has a question here. And then Mr. Carter.
So I've been walking around the neighborhood, and then there are people that don't have your uniforms. And then are they from your precinct, or are they just extra people? Because for me, it's a concern. I'm an immigrant and I know what's happening with administration issues. So I need to know that these people are not there to use other stuff. Because they don't wear your uniform, or they wear like, you know,
ICE.
They might not be ICE at all, but I've seen a couple of times they wearing a bulletproof vest, and then you can't see their badges. You can't see their badges.
They may be outside units from NYPD. Part of the summer violence plan is you're gonna have a lot of units, Harbor, Mountain, all sorts of outside units, not just outside commands, from other boroughs that are on specific posts that are around the whole precinct Some of them wear slightly different uniforms than us. They may have sewn on patches instead of the shield on the outside of the uniform, and that will have their name and shield number on it. I'm unaware of any outside agencies that are doing these kinds of posts.
Our district
If
is
you want
most
to see
Hispanic
more about this,
district,
I
someone
can
is
give you more
playing
specifics.
games.
I can identify for you. I assume that they are probably our other units that are deploying here to help reduce violence and prevent.
Ms. Licata?
Okay, there's one question here that then we'll go over the board, okay? Go ahead.
A quick question about support for your team. You know, during the summer, when it starts getting warmer, there's also a lot of individuals who have mental challenges that are having, they're creating problems for themselves, you know, maybe creating noise or disruptions. Does your team have the help of either social workers or mental health providers to help deal with these individuals that really clearly need this kind of support?
We do have the training to reach out to the necessary supportive organizations, either to offer services to these people or to request assistance from other agencies to help us provide them with assistance.
Even in the moment, do you have any sort of training in the moment to deal with people in crisis?
We all have, well, I won't say all, most of us either have or are getting caught up on crisis intervention training. So that helps us deal with people in crisis. Yeah, if I can jump in for a second, most of the department got trained in crisis intervention. It's like a four-day training in a class that teaches us on how to deal with mentally ill people, how to deal with, you know, cases like that. But we also have outside resources that we can reach out to, you know, to get additional help, you know, through either, you know, physicians, you know, clinicians, and other places.
Mr. Jesus has a question.
I'm coming in the tail end part of your conversation. I know we spoke about the shelter on Bruckner, the shelter site.
No, nothing. You can have that.
Okay, because I passed out of the summer getting warm and welcome to this community. Are you gonna get more extra support with, the vagrancy that's happening in front of the property? Because I see young patrol car parked on Bruckner when I pass by certain times of the day, but they still hang out, talk, hair cutting and doing drugs, but you know, they're out of your purview of your eyesight. So are you gonna get extra support in the future because it's getting warmer?
Yes, so as of right now, we have a car assigned to that location, I believe on a daily basis.
No, I see that.
But that's gonna be something that the quality of life unit that's gonna be dealing with, you know, like people just hanging out on the street, you know, like, you know, open drug use and stuff like that. That's what this team was created for, and they're gonna be addressing that condition. That also applies to dealing with encampments, you know, people setting up tents and stuff like that. That's gonna be on them.
That was my next question. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have a question from someone in the back. Can you please stand, state your name, please? Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Patricia Simpson.
Oh, you're a board member.
And my question, thank you. My question is, first of all, I want to thank you. Patterson now has offices patrolling our development. Thank you for that. But my question is, can they come inside the buildings and do vertical? Because that's where the problems are. There's some buildings where the kids are still smoking in the hallway, banging on doors, kicking doors, playing loud music, and disturbing and threatening the residents. So we need them to come inside.
Herman, please.
Mr. Francis, let them answer the question, please.
Yeah, to answer this question, we are assigned to the forum. PSA 7 deals with housing development and stuff. So I'm gonna reach out to PSA 7, see if they can increase some kind of, you know, police presence inside the buildings. As of right now, because of the summer crime reduction, you know, violence, we do have posts, which is outside commands that come into the developments, and they cover the outskirts to make sure that, you know, residents are safe going into the buildings. But when it comes to addressing the buildings itself, I'm gonna reach out to PSA 7, and they're gonna concentrate on making sure that you guys are safe inside the buildings.
Mr. Francis.
Mr. Francis.
Mr. Francis,
you're out of order, Mr. Francis. Stop. You're making a mockery of this board. Stop. Does anyone else have any questions?
I would just like to interject really quickly, two things. First, I'll start off with housing. The housing PSA 7 still has their NCO program in place. if you have the contact information for your NCOs, please feel free to reach out to them. They will help address those concerns, and we will work with them to assist them in doing that. And then secondly, I just wanted to go back to the migrant shelter really quickly. Both the day tour team and the evening team, we do go over there and make sure that our presence is known. We look for any sort of violations that we may need to take enforcement against, and we do informally address it to the shelter that they can't just stay out there and just hang out on the street. We try and move them off, if they go into the shelter or not stay there. So
Thank you, ma'am, you have the floor. Please say your name, stand. Yeah, I gotta withdraw. Go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Carmen Santiago. I might have like 3 questions in one. I just wanted to know and welcome to the quality of life officers in that whole division. Thank you, Chief Shell and the Commissioner. I think you guys are listening to us. Finally, it's been years and maybe decades for some of us. I want to know, first question is, the human power of the NYPD, what's the number? How many NYPD active duty do we have? So that's question number 1, goes into question number 2. If you just go to Roberto Clemente Fentanyl, Heroin, Drug Plaza, everything that's happening in our community, Melrose, Port Morris, and Mott Haven, the South Bronx, is all there concentrated in that one plaza. We have prostitution, we have the drug dealers, we have the drug addicts, they're sick, special needs community, the homeless, the mentally ill, everything's there, the ghost cars, the drug dealers are up and down 3rd Avenue. I was there today, double parked. Drug dealers just having conversations with each other, making, drug deals right there in front of us. So in relation to that case study, Roberto Clemente, and, don't forget the question about how much manpower we have, NYPD manpower. Where is the foot patrol? I come from the 70s, actually the 60s and the 70s, when we had the foot patrols. I understand you guys are taking orders. I'm a veteran, so I know about orders. Not only patrol cars, we need the foot patrol, so you guys can see what we see. I understand you gotta take the numbers from 311, but that's what we're saying in 311. And we repeat it here year after year. We need foot patrol, so you can see what we see. Not everybody in the car, texting or writing a report simultaneously. We need eyes, boots on the ground. That's what we need.
Thank you.
So if you can just answer that, and I made a 311 call, because DJ Drug Dealer is back at the Roberto Clemente Plaza. He was there Sunday, as early as 7 in the morning, down the canyon on 148th. DJ Drug Dealer gets his power from the light pole, I'm guessing, and I've seen it myself. I made the 311 call, and I put an extra note for you, for 911. When you responded, do not come passing by with your sirens on, because they turn the music down. When you pass, they're gone. And then five minutes later, the 311 report on my phone, been handled. And I'm still here, DJ Drug Dealer. So, what's the number? The Foot Patrol, La Jara, we used to call them La Jara, the Foot Patrol, 60s and 70s, and DJ Drug Dealer, and that whole fentanyl drug dealing 3rd Avenue. It's Sodom and Gomorrah.
Thank you. Let them respond, because we have other people that have questions.
Those 3.
Thank you. That was a very good question.
So I'm not 100% sure right at the moment where we are with manpower, somewhere in about 33,000 total members of the department. We do have foot patrols over in that area. That's part of the business conditions team.
Whatever, I'm sorry, whatever. 3rd Avenue?
They cover what's called the hub. It's 149th Street. It's actually from 148th Street up to. They are on foot, most of them.
I don't see them. I just came here, I walked here today, 2 officers, they're in the car, the patrol car.
They have 1 mobile unit usually deployed, and the rest of the team is on foot.
I have yet to see them.
They,
Just- I'm
we
just
have,
letting you
we
know.
have approximately 20 people, between 2 different shifts assigned to that specific area, and most of them are on foot. They are addressing quality of life conditions and the open drug use. They do bring in a lot of people for those violations, but unfortunately, those are repeat offenders. They will go to the precinct, a few hours later, they're back on the street doing the exact same thing. And as I said, the team has been, we have this unit now for about 10 years or so, and the last couple of years, they've been on foot, really concentrating on that specific one, that specific area, but unfortunately, they take one person, the next person takes their space, and that's why it appears that it's always there.
Thank you. Is anyone else, well, did you have your questions answered, the first one?
Second one, and what was the third one? Roberto Clemente Plaza.
DJ drug dealer.
The DJ drug dealer on Roberto Clemente Plaza.
On Sunday.
If you'd like, we could talk to either Officer Katari or myself, afterwards, we'll get a little more details from you about the.
Oh, I don't know what it looks like. I'm making a 311 call.
Well, why don't you meet with them at the end of the meeting and you be more specific with them? Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for the forum? Yeah, 33,000.
We need more.
Okay, anyone else? Yes, sir.
Yeah, the department has been working on that, trying to get more people on board.
Mr. Brooks.
They started 2 classes recently, but that helps, money, politics, and everything else like that.
Thank you for the information. Cecil Brooks, board member here. So I noticed that there's a lot of consistency on Willis Avenue. Go up that street every week, basically grew up there, went to school there. I'm curious about two questions in that. How did you, or how do you arrive to some of the corridors where you might have officers literally on every corner? Because it seems like that's part of the feedback, that we would like some spot checks on areas that need a little extra attention in TLC. And then also the other question, have you decided, looking at the data, hearing the community feedback on similar corridors, maybe in streets that are longer than Willis Avenue, or where there might be a little bit more going on, especially at nighttime? Since it seems like, a lot, for better or for worse, to have each of the corners. And I'd like, to see that consistency. A lot of people, my parents included, have been asking for extra attention there. But I'm just curious about the process and if there's any other streets maybe that have come up that you folks have been looking at.
So some of it is based on crime data that we receive, where the crimes are, where things are going on. That's a collaboration between our crime analysis office and One Police Plaza with their data that they have. We have an FTU deployment, so a bunch of new officers who came out recently, and a lot of them are in one of those zones. We have certain zones for some violence reduction. Those are deployed from the mobile field forces, so our outside commands that come in, and then our own personnel that are also, and that is driven by the data and is week to week that's planned out with headquarters. As far as the other areas where you think we might need attention, we appreciate if you want to meet with us to speak with us afterwards, or if there are more calls and management calls that you give us for particular conditions that need to be addressed at those times. As far as us developing those corridors or anything else, that's not something that I have the power to do. I'm more responsive to things, but we will definitely, if you have a specific area you want me to keep in mind, I'll make sure I take note of it. We will speak with my officers here. We'll make sure we take note of it and pass the word to whoever we can, try and make sure within the precinct. Obviously, the executive officers here, they'll bring us back to our commanding officer. I'll pass it amongst the other supervisors in the command to make sure that we are paying attention to what's going on.
Thank you. Is there a number that you can issue or give to the general public or
An email, a number that you can give out, that they need to call, precinct, community affairs, anything like that. And if anyone, in the interest of time, we still have some things on the agenda. If anyone has any other questions for the precinct, please direct them to the district manager. He will forward the questions to the precinct, and we will get an answer to you as soon as possible. But if you have a number or an email that you can just blurt out, if you have it.
I can give you, the 31911, the patrol command itself. So just real quick, this new team that was created, the Q team, it's a combination of officers that were NCOs, YCOs, and traffic safety officers. So majority of the NCOs that you probably know or are aware of, those officers that got moved to this new Q team, majority of their numbers are still working. If you have those connections, we want you guys to reach out to them and continue doing what you guys were doing before. This program is really just an expansion of what NCO unit did before. So
Thank you.
for now, we can use those numbers. The department is looking to update the website where all the names and phone numbers are going to be listed, but as of right now, that's not available.
All right, thank you very much for the appreciation for your report. We're gonna move the agenda. PSA 7, I saw they're not here, right? All right, let's move over to the elected officials report. Anyone from the mayor's office, Honorable Eric Adams.
Good evening. It's lovely to see so many familiar faces. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, District Manager. I appreciate the time. I'm here to pretty much introduce myself. My name is Emmanuel Martinez. I'm actually the new Bronx Borough Director for the Mayor's Office. I pretty much will be assisting any issues regarding the South Bronx. I will be responding. But in terms of like my work ethics and, I want to make sure that I develop a really strong relationship with this community. I know this community is in dire need of assistance. I'm very happy that, I have that effort to work and collaborate with the 40th precinct, the 41st, and those around. So, again, for the mayor's report, the mayor has actually initiated and invested into a $1.6 million silent shield to work with our bodega owners. This is pretty much a panic button, and any issue that comes across, bodegas will have direct access to NYPD, and also will be able to assist the issue in that particular area. And then also, it will help us respond better with the collaboration with our NYPD officers. Another thing is, I just want to make sure that people are aware that, we're responding to another issue that occurred as well. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We recently had a shooting that happened about 2 weeks ago. Mayor's been very adamant on responding to those issues. We're looking to host a town hall in the coming weeks. So just to give you an update on that as well. And, it's unfortunate that, the young girl lost her life. But we, I've been stepped forth and made sure that, the family's been taken care of. I'm sorry about that. Sorry. The family's been taken care of and all that stuff. So I just want to make sure that, people are familiar with me and my face, because as this is my first community board for this, I'm just very excited to make sure that I am here for you guys and try to assist you in the best manner as possible. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Give a phone number, something where they can contact you.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. I think I'll give you my work cell. Anyone has a paper and pen is 646-406. All right, I'll take my time, don't worry.
Go ahead.
Okay, you guys ready? Yeah. All right, 646-406-3346. Just put your first name, your last name, and the email that I can reach you at, and then we'll move forward from there. One final announcement is that the mayor will be having a flag race. It's going to be June 3rd, 2:30 p.m. It's going to be at the Bowling Green Park for Puerto Rico as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Your name is Emmanuel Martinez.
Emmanuel Martinez, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Anyone here from the Bronx Borough President's Office? No, sir. No one here from the Borough President's Office. United States Congress, the Honorable Richie Torres. No one here. Is anyone here from the Honorable Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's office? Yes. Yeah, a few minutes, man.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Nicola from the Office of Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. Quick announcements, our office is reaching out to small businesses in our district to learn how the announced tariff policies are impacting local businesses. So if anyone is interested in doing the survey, please reach out to me. And then due to staffing cuts at the IRS, you might be seeing slower responses. So if you have any cases and need any updates, you can reach out to our office. And also, I'm sure you're aware that from May 7th, you need to have a real ID compliant identification to travel or to enter any federal facility. So just a reminder for you to update your IDs. And finally, if you need anything, please reach out to us. Our office number is 718-662-5970. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone here from the Honorable Jose M. Serrano?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jose Ramon Perez from the office of Senator Jose Serrano. I would like to give you an update after the budget has passed in Albany. So they have been allocated $425 million for the Environmental Protection Fund, reflecting a $25 million increase, $500 million investment in clean water infrastructure and grants, $450 million for building greenhouse gas emissions, $200 million for thermal energy projects at Swoop and Greedy, $100 million for zero emission transportation, including school buses and supporting infrastructure. For social services, we have the budget for free school breakfast and lunch for all students. Inflation checks, so individuals earning $75 or less, $75,000 or less will receive $200, while those earning between $75,000 and $150,000 will receive $150. Joint filers with an AGI below $150,000 will receive $400. Couples earning between $150,000 and $300,000 will get $300. Empire State Child Credit, 3-year expansion of the child tax credit, providing $1,400 and older from $330 in the first year to $500 in the following 2 years. And then I think that would be very relevant regarding housing. So the budget.
1 minute left.
Yes. The housing, being $50 million for housing voucher access program, $225 million for NYCHA funding, $140 billion for digital allowance, $50 million for affordable housing with local local, $44 million for homeowner protection program, and $20 million for additional housing. And we always, every Wednesday, we will hold constituent hours at Points Library every Wednesday from 2 to 5. And here on Tuesday to the 10th, we will hold constituent hours at Port Eden Public Library. Tuesday on the 10th, between 3 and 6 o'clock. And you can always reach out to us at our office, 212-828-5829.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone here from the Honorable Luis Sepulveda's office? Senator Luis Sepulveda. Anyone from Honorable Assemblywoman Chantel Jackson? Anyone from Amanda Septimos, Assemblywoman Amanda Septimos' office? Anyone from the Controller, Brad Langer's office? Anyone here from the Public Advocate's office, Jumani D. Williams? Anyone here from Councilmember Rafael Salamanca's office? Anyone here from Deputy Speaker Diana Ayala's office? Gloria Cruz?
Good evening, Gloria Cruz, Deputy Speaker Ayala's office. I'm going to be short and sweet. All our information is right on here. I'm not gonna reiterate page by page. In the package, we have a lot of events that are happening, but most important is HPD in the district. We're going to have HPD in front of our office. So these are the dates, so if you have any questions about the Housing Connect, anything with your landlord, anything like that, they're the experts to be able to handle it for you. Any questions, any concerns, if you have any now, I'd be more than happy to hear it. But if not, you can always call our office, the email, the phone number is there. And with the new administration gonna be changing very soon, we have to be very diligent to have everyone go out and vote, because we are the lowest voting party. Thank you.
Thank you. Is anyone here from the district attorney's office, Darcel B. Clark? Paula, you have a report?
Hello, everybody. My name is Jumana Escalera. Good evening. So we are hosting, the DA's office is hosting a beautification cleanup event called Plant for Peace. That's happening next Friday, June 6th, from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. and it's happening in St. Mary's Park. We will be on 149th Street, directly across the street from the 40th precinct. We're pretty much planting orange flowers in honor of those that have lost their lives to gun violence. We're also doing a cleanup project at the same time. So simultaneously, there will be planting of marigolds as well as perennials. If you guys know anything about flowers, you look them up. But we're also doing this as an annual thing. So every June or every spring, technically, orange flowers will bloom in St. Mary's Park in honor of those who have lost their lives to gun violence. So if you guys are free, please come out, wear your orange, come prepared to get dirty. We do have Department of Sanitation partnering with us as well as parks. So we'll have an arborist / gardener there to help us and show us how to plant if you do not have a green thumb. And we're just trying to make St. Mary's Park a better place. You know, we come to this meeting often and we hear a lot about the park. So the DA's office is trying to actively, take part in the cleanup. So we would love it if you guys would participate. And lastly, we have board tours and workshops. So if you guys are interested in those things, please reach out to our email. It's CEU@Bronx, and Bronx is spelled out, da.nyc.gov. And if you are interested in me sending you a digital version of the flyer, bless you. My work cell number is 917-581-3149, and that's 917-581-3149. And once again, if you guys are interested in the digital version of the flyer for Plant for Peace for next Friday, just send me a text saying peace, and I'll send you the flyer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We're gonna fly through these committee reports because I know you're all dying to go watch the big game. I already got people texting me. Very quickly, we can do this in about 5 minutes. Economic development and land use, followed by the job.
Thank you so much. So in the Economic Development Committee, we had a presentation from HPD where we were talking about affordable housing and some of the main terms and programs that HPD has available for developers to increase the available units of affordable housing within the Bronx and also throughout the city. We discussed several issues that pertain to our area, and most of the issues that the community has highlighted in terms of the size of the units, the affordability of the units, and also we learned about different programs that are available with regards to HPD finance programs, which I encourage folks to learn more about. The purpose of hosting these presentations in our community board is so that our community board members are equipped with the necessary tools to be able to participate in these meetings and to make their votes and be more informed. This is something that the community has requested and that we look forward to continue to host. At the same time, we would really appreciate your participation as we are listening to your feedback. We also want you to be part of the discussions and to continue to come to the committee meetings, which is very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. May I have a motion on the floor to accept Ms. Martinez's report?
Robert Vaughn, make a motion to accept.
Seconded by? Thank you. All in favor to accept the economic development land use report, signify by saying aye. Any discussion on the motion? I should have said that first. Discussion on the motion? No? None? Okay, any nays? Any abstentions? None, thank you. The Health and Human Services, doesn't have a report, Public and Transitional Housing Department doesn't have one, Municipal Services doesn't have one. Communications and Technology is vacant, Environmental Justice and Sanitation was already done earlier when we took the vote. Okay, so you have a report? Thank you.
3 minutes, right?
3 minutes.
Okay, so I'll quickly say, so we had a long meeting, we had about 3 presentations, one of them was, DEP, but there was like a water main issue, and then people were here to complain about the situation, and then we just provided some recommendations to DEP to have better communications with our community. The other one was, renewable Rikers, so they want to use renewable technology in Rikers Island to get rid of the jail and then more like a sewage treatment plant and also renewable energy in Rikers. And the last one, which is very important, is the Melrose Environmental Awareness Committee. So there was anyway, so yeah, so we need more support for that, because this is in the Melrose area, so DEC, which is the Department of Environmental Conservation, is not providing enough information to us, and then it seems like we're not part of the process. So, and in that time, when they provide information to us, it's like a little bit too late. The last time I went to one of the meetings, it was in the wrong location. It was far away from Melrose, and then they let us notify what was happening a day before. So we didn't have enough time to let people know about it. Yeah, so those were the 3 things I have there. So a lot of more discussion, but that's what happened at the meeting. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm gonna wait for the end of all the reports so that we can, pass them. Is anyone here? Ms. Burns, do you have a report? She's not here. Is she here? No. Okay. Education, Youth, and Young Adults, Stephanie Calzado. She's not here. Please state the name.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joyce Polkus. I am a committee member. Just 2 things to report. One, the committee is working on putting on another event called A Seat at a Table. This is an event that is aimed towards inviting young people, particularly teenagers who attend schools within our community district, to the table to have a conversation about concerns that they have, about ways in which we can encourage them to get more involved in the community board, take part in the committee itself, and really hear from them as our committee is committed to supporting them and serving them. So really wanting to invite them to the conversation. And I don't have an accurate count in terms of the number of confirmed guests. It's still pretty low. However, if we are unable to meet our goal, which is to have 20 participants, we will consider postponing the event until after the summer. And this event is initially supposed to take place Saturday, June 7th. However, a lot of committee members are experiencing life right now. So that part, and then also the wrapping up the school year, is been a delay in which we're receiving confirmations from principals that we reached out to. We reached out to all of the principals, high school principals within the district. The second thing that I'd like to share too is that recently we met with architects, Grimshaw Architects, who's responsible for the Horizon project in regards to the construction and the new housing, dining, and recreational spaces that's being added and renovated with the Horizon facility. And they shared a 3D model of the, I guess, the new design, as well as shared the artists that were selected to create the murals. I think they are anticipating having some inspirational messages and whatnot, and really being intentional in regards to allowing there to be open space for the residents that are confined at Horizon. I guess one of our main concerns though is to make sure that this doesn't become like a space where young people are inspired to be in, right? Because this is a juvenile detention facility, but still, wanting to remain I'm almost finished, thank you. Wanting to remain true to the humanity of, young folks, but also wanting to not encourage more, people to end up there. So that's the conclusion of my report.
Thank you. LGBTQIA Resources and Services Ordinance was not here. Policy and Legislation, the only member is here, is not here. Immigration, Mr. Mohammed.
Good evening, everyone. I want to say thank you, everyone, for your precious time. In regards to immigration issue, there's good news. Our board office gets back to the next office. So anybody has any concern, any issues, please stop by in our board office. And our board office, Mr. Anthony, and also Stephen, they are available. They can direct any issues with the legal people who are working with the immigration things and also working with elected officials. So this is the opportunity. Whoever wants to get some information and it's a reliable source, please stop by. And that's all I have from the immigration committee. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Anyone here from the Ethics, Discipline, and Conduct? Everyone Alvarez, not here. License and permits, Mr. Robert Barnes, anything to report? Nothing. So may I have a motion to accept all committee reports as presented?
I, Mohammed Sheikh, make a motion to accept the committee reports.
Thank you. Seconded by Mr. Cecil Brooks. All in favor of accepting the committee report, signify by saying aye. Any nays? Any abstentions? That concludes committee reports. Any old business? Any new business? None. May I have a motion from the floor? I'm sorry? Mrs. Swan, you see, go ahead.
So this is for the future. If you're interested in knowing more about this, you can go to our committee meeting that happens on Wednesday, third Wednesday on the month for the sanitation and environmental justice. So what we planning is to have a charrette for later on in probably September or October in order to deal with sanitation issues and environmental justice issues. So we're gonna plan on that, and you're interested in being part of that, you will go to come to that committee and then talk about this, because we try to plan at least 2 of them, for committee members and other agencies and also organizations to come in and talk about how to deal with this problem.
Thank you. May I have a motion from the floor to adjourn today's meeting?
Robert Boyd, make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
I second.
All those in favor of adjournment, signify by saying aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Okay, everybody, good
Thank you,
meeting.
Mr. Chair.